Howdy everybody, Efour here, and welcome back to the channel for Season 1, Episode 5 of our FIFA 23 Youth Academy only rebuild. Now, in the last episode, we talked a little bit about dynamic potential and how it does seem to be a little bit broken, but we are going to be the guinea pigs in this series for this save, for this game, to see if dynamic potential actually works or if it really is busted. It's going to make this save extremely difficult. It's going to make me bang my head against the wall, but it's going to be gosh darn exciting. Today, we got a game in the Papa John's Trophy with a couple of games in the league, so let's dive into it. November is the month that we are in this episode, and we take on Salford City up first in the Papa John's Trophy. We follow that up against Leyton Orient in the league, then Stockport in the league, Bradford City in the league, and then finishing off the month against Walsall. Today, the live comm is going to be against Leyton Orient. If you remember from the very first episode, they are our rivals, and this is our first derby game in this save. So let's hop into the highlights against Salford City so we can get into that live comm against Leyton Orient. For our first game of the episode, we take on Salford City in the Papa John's Trophy, and this is a must-win game if we want to make it to the knockout stages. But considering that they sit in 7th in the league, I'm not going to be holding my breath. Due to our derby game being in just 3 days' time and our focus primarily on the league, we are going to be taking in a rotated side, playing all backups, and calling Andrade into the senior team to start at left back. He's the striker from the last episode, the scouting report that we brought in, and we're switching to a left back, so we're going to see how it goes. And in the first 2 minutes, Salford City's Matt Smith aggressively tackled Barker, resulting in a straight red card and an early shower, giving us a man advantage. And despite being a man down, our second string defense looked pretty poor as their attacker got around Andrade and walked in without being challenged to go ahead 1-0. But just before the halftime whistle, Lewis had a great attacking run down our right wing, getting past his defender and floating across to Anderson, who fired home on the volley to grab our equalizer 1-1. Despite being a man up this entire match from the second minute, we weren't able to get a win. Finishing 1-1, we had some chances, but as you can see here, we were still massively outplayed. 39% possessions to their 61. Same amount of shots, but they completed more passes. We had more tackles, but still outplayed. Very disappointing result, which I'm pretty sure is going to see us bounce from the Papa John's Trophy, which isn't the end of the world. But now we're going to go get into our first derby game of the series. Let's go take a look at the league table. As you can see here, guys, we still sit in 10th, just like at the end of last episode, 3 points outside those playoff positions, and we just took on Salford City, who sit in 7th, and like I said, we were up a man most of the match, and we couldn't get a win. Extremely disappointing, but we had a lot of good opportunities. We're just not able to quite finish them, and it's killing me, but we're going to get there. I know that as we continue to play and progress this team, we will get the finishing touch at the end of those attacks. Andrade at left back, despite letting in that really ugly goal in the 26th minute where he was just walked past, in his defense, he didn't have any support from his other guys. I'm not sure what our team was doing, but we let that goal in. That's besides the point. My point to that is that Andrade felt very good at left back. He's got great agility, decent pace. He can pass fairly well. I'm really excited to see him develop and see him come into this team and really start getting some game time, because our left back is 27, so he's going to be needing to be replaced sooner rather than later. Andrade is that guy, and I'm super excited about him. Now, again, we're on 20 points, and a win would get us on 23, which is what the 7th team is. We take on Leyton Orient today, who sit in 14th. Our rival, they're 1 point behind us. Today is the chance for us to make a statement against our rival, our first derby game in this series, and we could spread our gap above them to 4 points with a win. So let's try and make that happen and go check out the team. This is a look at the team we're taking in against Leyton Orient. Ibrahim in goal, a back four of Lawrence, Hyde, Guest, and Dyer. Midfield pairing of Conway and Wilkes, attacking three of Arnold, Ambrose, and Cameron, and up top we have Benson. On the bench we have new boy Andrade coming in to cover both wingback positions. Looked really good, and I enjoyed using him in that game against Salford City, so he has earned a spot on the bench. Barker up next, followed by Rice, Anderson, Hobbs, Lewis, and Coleman. Now, Prince down here has been playing our backup wingback role, but at 22 and 49 overall, we're going to go ahead and start developing the 17-year-old Andrade to come in and be our wingback replacement. So he gets his spot on the bench. This is the team we take in. Honestly, I know you guys didn't get to see all of it because it was just highlights in that Salford City game, but we looked really good. Got some good attacking play going, and I know we're so close. If we can just start to piece it together, we will be a lethal team. Let's get into this derby game against Leyton Orient and try and get 3 points. And here we go, and oh my goodness, this lighting is terrible. Sorry about that, you guys, with the color clash. Their kits are actually very cool. They're like tan with black sleeves. The black pants will be the indicator for you guys and for me today in this game, but again, excited to be getting these Youth Academy guys in the door. Andrade was very fun to use at left back. That was a poor pass there from Wilkes, and they look to come into our half. Lawrence chasing out, gets in the way, and almost dispossessed, gets it to Wilkes. Their press is killing us, and we're about to get into a bad spot. Get a slide across, and great save from Ibrahim to keep it out of our goal. Here is their corner, and yeah, this has not been a good start already. Hopefully we can get the ball out and try and find a way to... Okay, we get the ball out there. Run, Conway. But as I mentioned, we get it to him. Come on, get there, Arnold. What a ball from Conway. Arnold is in. Can he make it happen? He's going to fire it, and it gets cut. I can't speak. Vincent gets there. Hit him with the dead fish. We're up in the derby game in the first 11 minutes. There goes my controller, but we're up 1-0. Let's go. And that was a beautiful ball from Conway up to Arnold. Great shot saved, and Benson pounces on the rebound from a tight angle to put it in the back of the net to give us the lead, 1-0. And what a start to this game. What a goal. That's what I'm talking about. We are starting to get into some good attacking positions, starting to figure this team in FIFA 23 out slowly but surely. Not so much defensively, I'll be honest, but attacking, we're starting to look a lot better. We're going, I was going to go over the top to Benson. I just don't think it's a good move. That is going to be a foul. Looks like just a warning. But as I mentioned, getting the youth prospects in the door. We have a couple. I think that was my dog barking. Sorry if you can hear that. But getting these youth prospects in the door. And all right, here we are. I don't know where I cut out there. Sorry, my dog was freaking out. I had to go check on him. So that's going to be a little busted right there. But we're getting the Youth Academy boys in. Getting that up to Ambrose. It falls to Benson. Get it, Benson. And there it is. Hit him with the worm. We're up 2-0. Let's go. What a play. The ball finally falls in our favor. Let's go. And in the first 23 minutes, Benson completes his brace. Again, the ball fortunately falls to us for the first time in this series. And Benson slots it home. There's my dumb controller again. I really got to get that fixed. But what a goal from Benson. He has a brace already. Let's keep pushing the pedal to the metal. Leyton Orient moving into our half. And I think the youth prospect that I'm most excited for is that Brazilian central midfielder. He looks like he's going to be so darn good. But I'm very excited for the youth scouting reports at the end of this episode. Like I mentioned in the last episode, it is the most fun part of this save, is getting those scouting reports. Cameron cuts inside, plays it to Ambrose. Oh, Wilkes is there. Ambrose doesn't have an accent like that. He's just American. I don't know why I put that on the R, but here they come, hitting us with a counter. Oh, Conway gets a foot in, and oh man, we're figuring it out. We're playing well. Ambrose is in. Come on, buddy. Come on, buddy. Cut it wide. Cut it back across, and Ambrose's shot goes just wide, out for a goal kick. Leyton Orient looking to get an attack started, moving into our half. And I'm shocked Ambrose's shot there on his left foot was so poor. He does have 5-star weak foot, but it wasn't the best shot ever. But we gotta play some defense and focus up here, because we know that this is where we struggle. And we let him cross it inside, and that was just poor positioning from me. I pulled Hyde away from that man. They found him wide open in the center, and they get a goal back, cutting our lead in half. It's 2-1. Here we are, moving into their half. Conway on the ball, trying to find a pass. Wilkes to Ambrose. And we'll go down the... I was trying to go down the wing to Cameron, and it does not come off. Dyer trying to slow their attack down. Forces the ball to the inside. They move back down Dyer's wing here. trying to break us down. They have the pass, and we don't want to give up this lead. We've done so well to build this lead early on in this game, and there it is. But Ibrahim does make the save, and it's out for a corner. Here is their corner after the save from Ibrahim. And can we play defense? We do, and it's shot wide. There's the halftime whistle. We're up 2-1 over our rivals in the Derby game. We've played really well thus far. Benson does have a brace. Let's get into this second half and see if we can secure this victory. Getting the ball out here to Arnold, trying to cut inside, and he's unable to use his pace to get around. He is dispossessed, and they look to be moving into our half immediately. Lawrence trying to slow him down, and he gets a foot in, and as we've seen so many times, it bounces right to them, and oh, man, that is frustrating. Oh, my gosh. The number of times we get a foot in, and it just falls right back to him. Hyde loses his man, and they smash it past for the equalizer, and we're all tied up yet again. Cameron out here on the right wing, just going to see if we can maybe try and get past. Doesn't look like we're going to be able to get past there. Trying to play the ball in well, and Cameron there. Can he just cross that? It goes to Arnold, and that's, I wanted him to hit it with his foot. It goes out for a goal kick. And here they are moving into our half again and looking dangerous. I will say the games in the Papa John's Trophy where we're able to use backups do enable me to get some confidence in using some of these backups, because at the moment I'm not super confident in them, but being able to use them gives me that opportunity. Here's Cameron. He's in. And can he do it? Oh, and it's saved. Cameron, you got to score that opportunity. And it's out for a corner. We're still not bringing on any subs just yet. I'm thinking about it, but we have not done it yet. And can't get that. It goes to Ambrose, and I wanted to go back to Cameron, but he fell down. All right, we got Arnold on the ball here. I was trying to go to Ambrose. I saw him making that dangerous run, but it is cut out. We got 15 minutes, or not 15, 25 minutes to try and find the winner. Can we make it happen? I don't know. I'm not too confident in this team, honestly. Not yet, at least. We will get there. But I'm more confident, or I guess my confidence is lacking in terms of our defense. I don't know if we're going to be able to keep them out. I do feel fairly confident that we can at least get in some good attacking positions. Will we score a goal? Who knows? That remains to be seen. The world may never know. But I know we can get into position. Here is Cameron cutting inside. And I shouldn't have passed that ball. I was trying to then play in Benson, but I think I waited just a second too long. I am going to be looking to make some subs sooner rather than later. Guest is spun around on the wrong side of the defender. I have Dyer chasing out here. Can we make something happen? Get up, Conway. Conway gets up to get that out. And we got Benson making a run. I got Arnold all the way back down. I see him. Here is Ambrose, Benson, Cameron. And, oh, Cameron takes one too many touches. We had the numbers to then cut that inside. Unable to maximize that opportunity. And here they are. Lawrence is rinsed. Run right past by Hunt. Down our left wing. Lawrence is chasing back. Does get a foot in. Great recover from Lawrence. And we're pushing. All right. We need a run. Benson. There it is. Ambrose is in here. Can he get all the way himself? And he can. Can he finish it? And he can't. He's dispossessed. It doesn't look like we're even going to have time to make our subs. Oh, Ambrose, you got to be doing a better job there, buddy. That was a golden opportunity that we can't complete, and I can't help but wonder if Anderson was in there with his 71 pace, would he have been able to get into a better position? The world may never know again, and that's a terrible pass for me, and if we lose on this, I'm going to be gutted. That was nobody to blame but myself. We are just going to go ahead and make some subs. That was disappointing. Isn't even the word. Oh, man. Guys, that was so poor. from E. That was so bad. I can't believe I just did that. There's our 5 subs. Andrade on at left back. Hobbs, Rice, Anderson, and Lewis coming on. We have 3 minutes left to try and find an equalizer after being up 2-0 to start this game off. That was such a poor turnover, and it's all on me. Poor pass from Dyer. Really me. Oh, I'm so gutted after being so excited in this game. All right. 3 minutes of regular time plus added time. Let's see if we can find an equalizer. Now, we brought Anderson on just because he's so darn fast. Terrible pass there from Hobbs. And that should about just wrap this game up. Oh, man, our chance to win the first derby match. And I guess it gives us something to look forward to when we take them on in the second half of the season. Just terrible play there. And, okay, it's saved. Ibrahim doesn't let them pad their lead. Comes down here to Lewis. We don't. We're not giving time. And guys, that was so bad. There's no other word. That was so darn bad. What a disappointing result in our first derby match against Leyton Orient. They end up winning 3-2. A brace from Benson, and we did look so good, but we cannot keep goals out of our net. And it starts with me playing better. That turnover from Dyer in that terrible position gave them the third goal, and that just can't happen. Oh, what a bummer. Let's take a quick look at the league table before we hop into the highlights. That result drops us all the way down to 15th. Leyton Orient getting ahead of us all the way up in 10th on 22 points. We're in 15th on 20th. Now, up to 7th is only 4 points ahead of us, so it's not a wide gap. Even up to 6th is only 6 points ahead of us, all the way up to 3rd. Again, 3rd through 15th, where we are, is just a 6-point gap. There's a lot of soccer and football left to play in this season, and if we can start to string some victories together, we can climb back up this table. That was such a disappointing way to lose that game, all on me, but we got to find the positives. Conway's pass for the first goal over the top to Arnold, who then rocketed it off. Benson hopping on the rebound. That pass from Conway was insane. It was so good, and we got to start finding more passes like that. We're not a bad team. Again, going forward, I think we're starting to click. It's our defense that we got to figure out because it is struggling. But now we take on Stockport up next in these highlights. They sit in 16th, just 1 point behind us. Again, we need to start getting some wins. We have to stop giving up goals. Let's see if we can get it done against Stockport. It's time to get into the highlights. And for this fixture against Stockport, we take in the best 11. After an even first half, we finally got a breakthrough as Benson pressured the goal kick and intercepted a pass, leaving him alone with the keeper and smashed home to give us the lead 1-0. And in the 73rd minute, Ambrose found Benson with a through ball, and using his speed, he got into a good position and fired home our second to double our lead 2-0. In the 78th minute, just after our subs had come on, they strung together a beautiful team goal. Lewis found Ambrose, who then played in Coleman, who successfully slotted a pass to Wilkes, who capped it off with a goal, taking our lead 3-0. And in the dying embers of the game, Coleman got his second assist, playing in Ambrose, who fired into the top left corner. 4-0 Efour United. The 4-0 win gave us our biggest win of the series yet and injected us with some confidence after a run of defeats. The win moves us to 12th in the league, sitting 3 points behind Harrogate Town in 7th position. And up next is Bradford City, who sit in 16th, just 3 points behind us, giving us a chance to build a gap. Despite some tired legs due to this fixture being 3 days after the Stockport game, we take in the strongest 11. After dominating the first 28 minutes of this game, Ambrose found the breakthrough with a stunning curled strike into the top right corner from outside the area. 1-0 good guys. But just on the stroke of halftime, Bradford City got one back with a perfectly paced ball into the top left corner, 1-1. And the curse of not possessing intercepted passes strikes again as Lawrence's block stays with Bradford, followed by Hyde's, resulting in a Bradford goal, giving them the lead 2-1. We lose the game 2-1, which was probably deserved based on the match stats, but it still is a tough pill to swallow. The loss drops us to 14th, and due to our issues with consistency, I really think a top half finish is our best case scenario. Our next fixture is against Walsall, who sit 1 position and 1 point behind us in the league, and I hope our dominant team shows up today. With that in mind, this is the team we take into the game to make that happen, and strategic rotation pays off as everyone is fit. In the first 10 minutes, Ambrose played a lofted through ball over the top to Benson, and controlling it with his head, he struck it on the half volley to find the back of the net, 1-0 Efour United. And in the 42nd minute, on a quick counter attack, Walsall found an incisive pass and scored the equalizer 1-1. And after failing to capitalize on our numerous good chances, Walsall went ahead, smashing one past Ibrahim, making it 2-1. But in the 90th minute, we finally made the most of a chance as Lewis played in Anderson, who slotted home the equalizer 2-2. We end the game against Walsall 2-2, but it feels like drop points rather than a draw rescued. As you can see here, we had 4 shots from great positions, a few one-on-ones with the keeper that we wasted, and due to our lack of cutting edge, we managed a draw rather than the victory. That draw against Walsall was so frustrating. I know you saw it from the graphic, and I don't know if it was very clear. I'll throw it back up right now. But we had 4 chances, 2 of which Ambrose was one-on-one with the keeper and sent it just wide. We had 2 other chances that went just wide as well. Yes, those other 2 chances we were challenged by a defender, but we really have to do a better job. That game probably needed to end 4-2. We just don't have the cutting edge, and it's lacking at some points, and it's really hurting us. That was a frustrating game to not get the win in. It leaves us 14th in the table on 24 points, and we are now, what is that? We have 24 points, so you can't see our position behind my head, but up to Harrogate Town in 7th is 28 points. So it's just a 4-point gap, which isn't that massive. But again, I would like to finish in the top 10 in this league. I think that is doable. We are closer to the bottom of the table, or just as close to the bottom as to the top playoff positions. But we got to do better. We are so inconsistent. Our offense is starting to click, but again, our defense is letting us down, and it hurts. We already saw it in this episode in the live com when I turned the ball over late. A lot of it is my poor playing, which will improve. Again, this is legendary difficulty, which makes it very challenging with this terrible team, but we have to do better. We have to score goals. We have to stop goals from getting into our net, but that's the way it is. This month hasn't been our best, but it hasn't been our worst. We're still in the middle of the pack in this league. Now, let's get into the exciting part of this save. Hinga Dinga Dargan. We're back for the scouting reports. Let's check them out. And here we go. Francisco Cabral, 17 years old, valued at $525,000, 76 to 94 potential, is awesome. Another key player out of Brazil, and man, I'm excited about this Brazil scout, and I think the decision to get the better scout is paying off. We're going to sign him up and check him out in just a moment. Looks like he might be a center back, which would be massive for this team. And here we go. Tristan Anderson, $700,000 value player from the United States, 17 years old, looks like a wingback. He is left-footed, so we might be retraining him on the left side, but there we go. That is a great player and probably going to be a starter in this team. Very excited about that one. And we have another one here. Wayne Bennett, $210,000 value. Is not great, but could be a squad player for us. Looks like a right back, 61 to 81 potential. Again, is not very good, but we need the depth. We're going to bring him up and check him out. Now, let's go look at the Youth Academy. And with those signings from that scouting report, we complete our youth development, which is critical priority, which makes the rest of this season easier as we're going to be struggling to hit some of these other things. Getting those 2 critical ones done is going to be key. Here is a look at our youth academy. We'll highlight the new boys first. First up is Francisco Cabral from Brazil, and we are switching him to a striker. Now, I know we've done this with a couple different players, but this guy has the traits. Defending is actually his lowest attribute, and later on you'll see why I'm not worried about moving him from left back as we go through one of these other players. But Cabral has 77 pace, 81 acceleration, 73 sprint speed, 76 agility. You know what? Let's just do it like this. When I'm looking at this player, he's got great shooting, great passing, great dribbling, and defending is his lowest attribute. His physicals are not the best either, but at 5'11", this guy reminds me of Frank Baker, and I am excited to potentially get a striker that could be the future of this team. Cabral is being moved to striker. It's going to take him 4 weeks, but we are going to go ahead and call him up to start getting him into the first team. Up next, we have Tristan Anderson. He's left-footed and a 59 overall at 17 years old. 72 pace and 80 physical with 54 defending. Looks like a monster. We'll move him to the left. We will call him up because he is our new starting left back. And then we have Wayne Bennett, new boy. He was the lowest overall, $210,000 value. 61 to 81 potential is probably why his value was a little bit lower. But right-footed, plays right back, and again becomes the best right back at the club. So we are going to promote him to the senior team. Let's also take a look at Bernard here. He's a 51. Let's just go into the development plan. He's switching to right mid, and he goes up 1, which is not too shabby. Now, I would like him to be a wide playmaker, get that playing and the passing and acceleration up. We'll switch him to that and get him set down here. Bernard still is not going to be a starter in this team just yet, so we will leave him down here. I'm very excited for when Breno Alves is ready to come up because he is going to be a key player for this team. Bumgardner is going to be a depth option. He is ready to come up. We're not going to call him up yet because we have 4 wingbacks on the team now, so we'll leave him down here for the time being, but very excited about him. And here's our 2 what are they called? Goalkeepers. There you go. Starting to progress. Peter Harris's potential has gone up to 72 to 92, and so we might honestly pull Peter Harris up just to start getting him the game time. We'll wait a little bit. Ibrahim is only a 56, so he's not far behind. Shortly, sooner rather than later, these 2 guys will be coming up to get into the first team, but that's a look at our youth academy. Now let's go check out the new boys in the team. After looking through the squad, I am going to also bring up Achille Bernard. I'll explain why in just a moment, but with his potential of 75 to 94, I think he's going to be a key player, and I want to get the game time into him, so we are going to call him up as well. So this is a look at our new starting 11. Ibrahim in goal, a back 4 of new boy Anderson, 72 pace, 80 physicals, 54 defending. Looks like the future of this team at left back. Super excited about this pickup. Going to be massive as we start to build this defense. Hyde and Guest still stay in the center of the park at defense. There right now are rocks, and we're going to have to keep relying on them. New boy Bennett comes in at right back, another physically strong player, 67 pace, 75 physicals. He's only 5'7". He can play center back, but at that height, he's not going to play there for us. But looks like another good player. Defensive awareness is only 35, which is not good, but that will get up. Wilkes and Conway remain the same in the center of the park in midfield. Cameron moves over to left wing, being right-footed. And on the right, we bring in Bernard to start. Now, my thinking behind this is that we had Arnold on the left over here. We'll compare him to Cameron right here. And he's done a great job. I do enjoy using him, but we got to get these young guys developing in the starting 11. Arnold is 24 and a 58 overall. Cameron is a 54 and 17. And Bernard is 16 and 52. So I want to get Bernard in starting. He's left-footed, so he can cut in on that dominant foot. Ambrose keeps his center attack in mid position. I have really enjoyed using him, and he's starting to come into his own. And then new boy Cabral starts up top. 77 pace, 55 shooting, 60 passing, 60 dribbling, and 54 physicals. As a striker, yes, he can play center back or left back, but again, with that defending being 43, I think he needs to be moved to the top of our formation. The highest rating he gets is going out as a winger, but considering we don't have a superstar striker coming through the wings, and he gets a +4 moving there, which I think will boost him probably to a 56 or a 57 when he completes the move to striker in 4 weeks. I'm so excited about this guy. He is going to be massive for us. Then on the bench, Andrade stays at left back, wing back position. He can play either side. He's still moving from striker to wing back to give us depth there. Barker stays on the bench along with Rice and Anderson. Arnold is dropped down to the bench, which moves Hobbs down to the reserves. Hobbs has been decent as a sub, but he's not moving the needle. We know he's done developing, so I want to keep Arnold on the bench to come off and try and help this team. Lewis is another guy who's been coming off the bench a lot and playing on that right wing, but I know Bernard has higher potential than Lewis, so we're going to go with Bernard starting out on that right wing. And Benson does move down to the bench for now. He has been one of our key players, but I want to get the game time into Cabral. We know we're not going to get promoted this year, so we might as well get these boys in and playing regularly. Down in our reserves, the only youth academy boys that we have brought through is Coleman. On the bench, he will still see some game time, but his role is definitely going to be diminishing with the arrival of Cabral into the team. Potts, Hobbs, Lawrence, Williams, Prince, Lancaster, Dyer, they were all here when we got here. They're going to be good depth for us when needed, but they are not making the cut to start or make it onto the bench. The only one who might be able to get some game time is Lawrence, but he's 28 years old. Might be looking to try and sell him to get a better scout this summer. Everyone under Williams here, which is Thorne, Bowman, and Blair. I don't think you can see Blair, but you can't see Thorne and Bowman behind my head. Blair and Wright, including Williams. Those four right here, Thorne, Bowman, Blair, Wright, and then Williams, have all been transfer listed. We're not using them at all. I don't like how they play, so we're going to move them on. Yes, it might hurt in terms of depth, but I think we've built this squad out a little bit through the scouting network to be able to release these players. Not release them, but try and sell them to, again, get some cash injection and hopefully find another good scout. That was such a successful scouting report. Getting Anderson, Bennett, Cabral, Bernard was already here. We got one more, didn't we? Am I losing my mind? I am losing my mind. We got Bennett, a starting right back, starting left back, and a starting striker in one report. That was awesome. I am so excited. What a episode. If you have enjoyed that, leave a thumbs up on the video. If you're new around here, subscribe to the channel. That was our best scouting report yet, and I know it's early, but that was exciting. I'm so excited to get into the next episode and use these new players to show them off for you guys. Man, I am enjoying this team's journey through the Crucible. Until next time, Efour out.